Welcome adventurers, my name is Coyote and welcome to my how-to videos. So today we'll be looking at smart perimeters. Now, the idea behind a smart perimeter is ultimately when you get later in game, you end up having perimeters. So you end up having these walls of laser turrets in most cases. Now the problem with laser turrets, or having laser turrets, is they have a drain. They take energy. And when you have a really big perimeter and a lot of turrets to keep those behemoths back, unfortunately, that drains a lot of energy. So you can see over here 3.4 thousand laser turrets, and that's draining 81 megawatts. So that's a lot of power being drained. Now the thing is, we want to turn that off when we're not using it, but we do not want to impede the fact that when we get attacked by biters, we have to hold those biters back. So ultimately what I came up with is a power switch. Now this power switch essentially works that it's connected to the roboport, and ultimately when robots are doing something, it will activate. So the roboport is set to read robot statistics. And you can see over here that X is equal to available logistic bots, and Y is equal to total logistic bots, as well as we have available construction bots and total construction bots. So the power switch is set for two different constraints. It's set for logistic bots, and it's also set for construction bots. So over here we have the construction bot one. So ultimately, when we have less available bots than we have total bots, that means our bots are doing something. So ultimately, that means we're being attacked and they're repairing the walls. So in that case, we want to output a green signal of 1. Now, the same constraint is duplicated for the logistic bot. So let's say you have a wall that actually requires logistic bots to be bringing stuff to it, in the sense that maybe you have a secondary line of gun turrets, which is something we'll see a little bit later on. Well, you don't want to be draining the remnant power in the roboports, because then otherwise that causes an issue and then it won't actually allow the power switch to activate accurately. Now, when either of those constraints are active, so when green is above 0, the switch is going to turn on. Now we also have a constant combinator over here just in the event that we actually want to manually turn it on for whatever reason. So these deciders are actually connected to our roboport over here, and our power pole is connected into our power switch, and basic power switch, and then power switch is connected into another power pole, so we have a break essentially in that circuit. So quickly I'm just going to demonstrate how this actually works. So I'm going to attack my own walls just for the heck of it, why not? And we'll see it turn on. Boom, so you can see immediately that the power is turned on. These guys are repaired, and power is now off because no longer being attacked. Over here we have a little bit more advanced of a perimeter. This is ultimately is the perimeter that I use in my main base, and so we have a row of laser turrets, and then after that we have our gun turrets, which requires logistic bots, as I was mentioning earlier, to actually supply those requester chests with piercing rounds. And then just below that we also have flamethrower turrets. So ultimately, even if I run out of power, I still have my gun turrets, and even if I run out of power and resources, I'm still going to have my flamethrower turrets. And the odds that all three kind of shut down at the same time are fairly low. So once again, let's just see this guy in action, and we also have over here train supplying with everything I need, so in case that something would break, the bots can easily just take something and repair or totally switch out. So let's just simulate another biter attack just to see how fun this little guy is. Once again, boom, immediately turns on, and once the job is done, turns off. Okay, now just for the heck of it, I went and mustered up a little horde over here, and we're going to run and see how this wall actually functions. Let's run into that breach and let's reseal that guy up. Boom! You can immediately see that the second the gun turret starts to shoot, the logistic bots activate because those piercing rounds are being used, and therefore turns it on right then and there. And there we have it, everything's repaired, and everything's replenished, and the power shuts off. So I hope that gives you a good idea how the system works. Please leave any comments or questions down below, and thank you for joining me for this adventure, and I hope to see you for the next one.